Welcome back. I'm glad you're joining me today. I'm really excited. I've been working on putting this together for the last 4 months, and today starts a new project build for me. It started about 2.5 years ago. I had an 85 Bronco I was restoring. I'd restored about 85% of it. I'd rebuilt the engine, done a frame-on restoration, and I was just getting ready to paint it when somebody pulled out in front of me and I ended up T-boning them. Thankfully, I was able to walk away, and that project came to an end after 3 really long, hard years of work on it. I just wanted a little truck that I could drive around, so I figured something like a Ranger or an S10. The one that's behind me was for sale just down the street around the corner. I had no idea that there would be one sitting around there. It was in pretty rough shape, did not look anything like it does today. It had body damage on the driver's side. Somebody had hit it and gone all the way down the side, so there were some bumps. The front bumper was caved in, the headlight was broken, the rear tail lights were both broken. The interior was in really bad shape, but it had good bones. It ran actually surprisingly well, and I didn't have to do a lot to that. I'm excited to kick off a new project involving my Ranger. I'm calling it Project Raptor.
Clever girl.
And that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. Raptors are the special edition Fords that they have for both the F-150, Bronco, and now the Ranger. And really what that includes is special interior, special exterior, performance upgrades, and usually some sort of specialized suspension. Stick around because it's going to be exciting. Engine modifications, the body's getting redone, and there's going to be some extra special things that are going on with it to make it look even more the part. Under the hood, I'm running the venerated 4-liter overhead valve engine. Believe it or not, this bad boy has over 255,000 miles. This is the original engine, and it's the original transmission as far as I can tell. They both work great. So you might be asking yourself, Scout, what is so special? What could you do to this truck? This is the answer. This is an M90 supercharger off a Pontiac GTP. It is the Gen 5 M90, but I'm going to take you along and show you how we're going to get this on the 4-liter. So one of the first things that I have to do is figure out where the supercharger is going to sit on here. I'm going to go ahead and remove just a few of these items up here, and then I'm going to set it kind of on here so I can see where my pulley is going to be. That'll help me decide how I'm going to build my intake, because the intake will be at the rear now. So this is where it gets tricky, because this is quite a long snout. And initially, these came on the 3800 front-wheel drive car. They sat like this, plenty of room. Now, in here, it'll be sitting down further on the actual intake. But as you can see, this needs to go back quite a bit. Now I am going to have a 1-inch offset pulley, so it will place the actual ribs about 1 inch back to about here, so that will help. But I'm not going to be able to get my measurements without taking this apart further. There's our upper manifold and plenum. This is where the EGR went in, and that's what gives you a little bit of trouble while you're getting it out, while you have to flex it out because of that EGR tube that comes through. I had to do a little bit of work on the side here, getting the EGR tube off. This is roughly how it's gonna sit. Once I pull this off, I'll try and figure out the angles and get exactly the pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and mock them up with cardboard. And I've got this pretty much set where it's gonna be resting. I'll probably will leave it clocked like this for that reason. My base plate, while handy because it's already prefabbed, is a little thick, and so I'm a little worried about that. So I ran into just a few things that I hadn't thought through. I thought I would need just a few pieces cut, but I'll probably need a few more, and how I'm actually going to attach this plate and plenum in there. But I think I have some ideas, so I'm going to go ahead and start mocking that up with cardboard and see if I can get it to make some sense. All right, base plate should be something like this, with, of course, the intake holes cut out. All right, so here's what I have crafted, expertly, of course, with the help of the finest construction material around. Got some cardboard. I've fashioned it into a plenum. Because of this filler deck and this radiator hose, I have to go about 2.5 inches high. These bolts are about 2 inches. And I wouldn't want to go any lower than that anyway. You're just going to start rubbing up against that. But that's about what it'll be like. These walls will be slightly angled so that it will grab the maximum opening here, which is a little over 2 inches. That should sit on there well. However, I think that's it for me for tonight. It's getting a little late. I'm gonna go finish up some other things, but I will be back working on that soon. We'll see you then. All right, so it is another day of working on Project Raptor. I've got Jonathan here with me. He's gonna help me. We're gonna be hitting some things simultaneously to make this go a little bit quicker. We're gonna lower the suspension lift just about 1/2 inch, and that will help make room for the body lift, the 1-inch body lift that we're gonna do. We're also working on replacing the grill and some lights, so we're gonna go ahead and get working on that. So I've run into a bit of an issue on this side. We've been trying to get this out. Nut came off, but the bolt does not want to back out of this bushing right here. So it doesn't matter how much we spread this. This side will move, this side will move. The bolt will even turn and the bushing won't, but I can't get the bolt to come out. So next up, we've got the grill off. I'll show you the new grill that's going to be going on there. It's pretty exciting. We're going to work on taking off the front bumper. Just makes doing that front lift a little bit easier. And then we're gonna get working on loosening up the bolts for the lift and go from there. All right, well, we got all the attachments that were on this bed liner out, which means we're ready to pull it out. We got the bed liner out and we loosened up the 6 bed bolts.
We're gonna lift the bed up and then put the 1-inch body spacer lifts in.
Okay, well, we have the bed lifted by 1 inch. You can see how high it's sitting up by the window. Next, we're gonna work on the cab. I remembered that we need longer bolts. And so I thankfully already have those specs and I just need to get the new ones. But we're gonna go ahead and pull a couple of these completely to make sure we know what we're getting, and then we'll work on getting the lift in. We are back from lunch and running to the store, and we struck out 3 times. On our last stop, we found some place that had pretty much every bolt that we're gonna need to replace the longer ones to put through the cab mounts. So we're gonna go ahead and get those tightened up. They're not exactly the ones I wanted, but they'll work for now, and I'll have to just order in the grade 8 ones that I will need to put in here more permanently. This is what we're putting in, 1-inch polyurethane blocks. What you're really doing is just adding this in between the body mounts. You're not replacing anything. I was able to get these from McKellis online. They do custom body mount blocks like this. I'm gonna have Jonathan slide this in so you can see where we're going. So this is the lower body mount right here. He's just sliding that right there. And then what we'll do is we'll drop the bolt through before we drop it and make sure that it tightens up correctly. All I'm doing is sliding that in, lining it up. And that's that. All right, since we have the body lifted now, it's time for a little grill swap out, I think. So Jonathan's got that all loose. He's gonna take that off, just a few clips, lifts right off. Jonathan has been working on what's really going to help set this truck off. Let me show you what that is. There we go. You can't be a Raptor without a Raptor grill, huh?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get that put on and see how it looks. So we can see whether it'll set okay on there, huh? Oh yeah. I'm excited about that.
It'll look good. Tie in with the other lighting we've done to it today.
Oh yeah, we'll have to show you that lighting here in a second. We're gonna go ahead and get these hooked up and mounted all the way, and then we'll show you the other special project that I was working on. Well, there she is installed. We're pretty happy. What's cool is when you turn the lights on, or when you turn the ignition on, I'm really liking the front. And I'll get you a better view of this once we get the leaf spring hooked back up and we can roll it back out. Well, that made for an extremely long day, but I'm pretty excited about the progress that has happened on the truck. The new grill looks awesome and the lights look great. I'm excited about that. So that's it for today. I'm gonna clean up and then we will see you next time.